If you are a pilot, you are no doubt aware of an application called Foreflight. It is the must-have tool for pilots under the age of 50 everywhere. But just when you thought it couldn't get any better, it did. Let me introduce you to Foreflight. Foreflight is a lot like Foreflight, only it takes into consideration your reputation on social media, as well as your reputation in the aviation community. So, what is it that separates Foreflight from Foreflight? Let's say you want to fly from Airport A to Airport B. Foreflight will track your flight and provide a very accurate trail showing your path. Foreflight will do the same, but it will also ensure the track is straight. Perhaps it was windy, and you don't know how to account for that. Maybe you were following a VOR, and you were phoning it in. Foreflight will map your progress without making you feel like a crap-ass pilot. On Foreflight, your track will appear perfectly straight every time. Foreflight also includes 3 perfect patterns with every landing. Suppose you are running low on fuel and need to land now, but you are also not current for carrying passengers. Well, never you worry. You just land and Foreflight will take care of the rest. Foreflight will also show a perfect track to the airport, a 45-degree pattern entry, 3 perfect patterns, and a final greaser to a full stop. Guess what? Foreflight just saved you from a fuel emergency and you are now current. Give Mom a call and fly her to breakfast. Foreflight includes incognito mode for flights that you need to make but lack the time or funds. Suppose it is time for your long cross country. Turn on incognito mode, check the airports you want to use, and let Foreflight do the rest. You can be home on the couch watching Judge Judy, and Foreflight is tracking a long cross country in real time. Look, you know how to land and take off. Why should you have to prove you can also fly straight and level for 3 hours? It is a ridiculous requirement and Foreflight knows it. In incognito mode, Foreflight will handle the cross-country and send a text message to your CFI at every landing. Now you are well rested, you saved money, and the plane is on the ramp with full fuel. With Foreflight, when your CFI talks about his best student, he's talking about you. These are some of the great features, but that's not all. Foreflight will upload perfected versions of your flights to your social media platforms, ensuring patterns are perfect, glide slopes are spot on, and every landing is on the numbers. Foreflight has the ability to show you when the weather is VFR, marginal, and IFR. Well, Foreflight knows when there is always wiggle room. With Foreflight, you get 500 feet of forgiveness when it comes to clouds and visibility. In Foreflight, the weather dot goes from green to blue when the ceilings fall below 3,000 feet. Foreflight has more confidence in you. Our dot will be green until the ceilings fall to 2,500 feet. In Foreflight, IFR is categorized by ceilings below 500 feet. Here's a secret. In Foreflight, we don't even call it IFR. We just put a small label on the screen that says, "Use caution." Let's say you do bust minimums. Here's another great thing to note in Foreflight. In Foreflight, there are no clouds. Think about it. Clouds are made up of tiny water droplets. We at Foreflight know that tiny water droplets in the sky is called rain. It is perfectly legal to fly in the rain. The ADS-B mandate is fast approaching, and Foreflight doesn't think you need to shell out big bucks so the government can track you. This is why Foreflight has a built-in repeater with tail number spoofing. Foreflight detects another aircraft's ADS-B out signal and replaces that plane's tail number with yours in the embedded signal and sends it out, and boom! Who is ADS-B compliant? With Foreflight, you are. This is just a small list of features you will find in Foreflight. You like Foreflight, but you're gonna love Foreflight. Disclaimer. Note, Foreflight is not available in the App Store yet. Once the $10 million GoFundMe account is fully funded, development will begin on this application. Anticipated launch of the application is slated for late in the fall of the year 2030. We at Foreflight reserve the right to not actually build Foreflight and just delete the GoFundMe account and use the money to buy a Cirrus Vision Jet so we can impress our friends and score with lots of babes. Learn more about Foreflight at www.worldsgreatestpilot.com.